T. Gray and MK, you are now cleared for flight school takeoff.
4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
All right, well done, MK. Nobody like you to do all of these slides so fast.
Okay.
Good
All
job.
right.
Good job.
So-
you know what? Can I ask you something?
Yes.
Yeah, you asked why people are not a BRIC. I want to ask everybody, why they were not in Mexico. Can we just start with that before we get into it?
That's it. But you're
I
just
just
going
don't
right
understand.
in. So
Let's go
why
back a
aren't
little
you
bit.
in Mexico?
What's wrong with you people? Seriously, the location was amazing. The agenda was amazing. Mr. Bucks, anytime you have, possibility to be around him, you should utilize it, right?
David, you were there. You were there.
Let's see in the chat who was actually in Mexico. Let's see in the chat.
All right.
Let's hear from everybody. Let's hear from everybody. I know Stine was there. FX Rich, amazing. Elena, Vida. She's a BRIC and she was in Mexico. Well done. I love it. Diana Hardy, Andrew. Some of the names are cut off here in Zoom.
Yeah.
You have to be
Leo
great at
Casa.
memorizing. Leo
Grant.
Casa, yes, he was there. We had a great time with the pool party.
Yep.
Not missing
Yvette
on a
Turner,
class.
Carolyn Wallen. Yeah, it was a life-changing weekend for sure, David.
It really was. I'm really listening to the recordings I did, on the trainings just while I'm at the gym or, doing something else. It's just very, very powerful information. And what we paid for that event was just, so little compared to the value that we got.
Yes.
Not just business-wise, but as well on a personal level. I would say that the people that I talked to were, very mind-blown about the Sunday program with Mr. and Mrs. Fox.
Oh, yes.
Sharing
Mr.
about,
Fox.
the ins and outs of
Dude.
creating a 30-year marriage plus.
That was incredible.
It really was.
Yeah. Jackie Pippins, Angel Dublé, Eric.
There were a lot of amazing people.
Yep. All right.
Yeah. Okay, so next time you'll be at the event. Okay, that's an order.
Okay.
Don't miss on an event that you're qualified for, because this time there was actually no qualification. It's your decision that you qualified yourself. And we see from everybody's comments, it was an outstanding event. The place it was held was amazing. The people, as always, on fire. And just the proximity with Mr. and Mrs. Box and with you, MK, and Tigre as well.
Yes,
it's always
absolutely.
a great pleasure.
And with you, Marianne. All right. Okay.
All right. We have quite a few slides to share today. A lot of messages.
Okay.
I hope people are ready to take some notes. Helle is ready for the next event. She says, bring it on, but let's see if that's something we want to touch on today.
All right. So the white zone, the 1st through the 10th of the month, it's massive, massive, massive exposure. Do you have anything else to say on that?
Yeah, I mean, everybody has their own definition of massive, but when we say massive, we mean a lot, right? Because you are going to harvest from the seed that you're putting out. So if you don't really reach out to a lot of people, you cannot expect a big results. Then, we're back to the disclaimer again. So massive exposure means a lot every single day in this period of time.
So how many would you count on? Yeah.
Yeah, I would say it depends on the goal that you set for yourself. For some time I had reached out to 100 a day, which was my goal, and it was very tough. At other times I told myself to call 20 people a day. So for me, it depends on if I'm working cold market or warm market, what are my targets, and depending on my goals. So I'm following the same system.
Okay.
Absolutely. And I know that if I don't do it, I'm like everybody else, I can find hundreds of other things to do. So even, whatever level you have in business, it's the same. We're all human beings. So we need to give ourselves an order and follow up with that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Nice. The number of exposures will determine the growth of your business.
Yeah.
Yep.
You're not going to become a diamond by exposing 5 people a day.
No. And then show the plan. The more you show the plan, the bigger your business will be.
I would like to share a comment with that because I really heard so many people asking actually, what is showing the plan? And that just comes back to, again, that sometimes we just speak something and we think that people know what we talk about. But what is showing the plan? It's not your plan of how you are getting to your goals. It's actually the presentation of the business. It's, presenting what we have to somebody. That's showing the plan. So we need to clarify that for maybe some of the newest people in the business.
Okay.
What that actually means. Yeah.
Yep. So
we can do that in different ways, right? How we can show the plan. So I think we have a couple of slides with examples of what to do. Are you still with me? I'm not sure we have a Wi-Fi in Cali.
you need to share the plan.
Are you still with me, Mark?
The internet is unstable here.
Yep. Okay, no worries.
Mm.
Yeah. So it's about if your business is open or not, right? If you don't expose your business to anybody, your business is closed and you can't really expect any results. So every single day, your business needs to be open. That's how you grow it. And we have different ways how to do that. You want to say something about iDecide?
Yes, iDecides. So you can send the iDecide out and do that. Yep.
I would say that's a great way if you have talked to people a little bit before, so they have an expectation what to receive. It's not something you just send out without talking to people, so they know what to expect from what you sent them.
All right.
We have other ways. One-on-ones, yeah. Something I would say is very underestimated. And in these Zoom times and online times, we tend to forget about what I would say real one-on-ones, where you actually meet people for a coffee. And I started doing that in my local area, and I really enjoy it. It's way more efficient, and you build a bond immediately with people compared to just online Zooms.
Yes, absolutely. I wholeheartedly agree with you, Marianne. I did one-on-ones, and I did one-on-ones.
It's just different. It's like when we have even showing the plan in a room with people instead of on Zoom. It's different experience, and I would say we get faster results from meeting people in real life.
Yes, and good and boom parties. Kelly Hauper is awesome at these.
Kelly is very good at these. She's doing them a lot, and I know more and more people started doing them ever since also Mrs. Pippins took the initiative about this global good party that we had.
Yes.
I think we can maybe, rearrange something similar to that because it opened everybody's eyes that this is still something that works. Not everything needs to be digital, right? When you get into people's living room, that's when magic happens. So.
All right. And business briefings and hotel meetings. Yep.
I guess when you are, in a team, everybody can bring 5-10 people. So it's not for you to bring your own 100 people, but this is when you work with a team or different people, leaders come together and they set up something like we had the tour with Mr. Box, and we can even do that on a smaller setting.
Yes, absolutely. All right. And video conferences and BÜM TV.
Yeah, so, we have everything. There's no excuse for not exposing anybody.
Yep.
Right.
All right. We have lots of ways to expose people.
Yeah.
And you got to know your numbers to grow your numbers.
Absolutely. It's back to what I just said. What are you expecting from this month? You need to talk to your mentor, talk to your upline about how you can break down the numbers to how much exposure you need to be doing in order to have a fair chance to reach your goals. So every day you need to have a target, how many you reach out to, or have a target of how many meetings you set up. That actually changed a lot for me when I started doing that. Instead of just exposing as a goal, I had a goal of setting up meetings. So, yeah. So,
Marianne, I want to congratulate you on your weight loss. You look phenomenal. We spent the afternoon with you, you and Vasil, at the pool, and you just look incredible.
Thank you so much. I started working out some months back. I wanted to really get back into, a great physique, because it's also about building yourself. You're the business, and
Yes.
we need to have
Absolutely.
a healthy body.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right. Super Saturday, Atlanta. This is going to be off the charts.
Yeah. Is that the Mrs. Pippins and Jayla and Jackie hosting this, or
Yes.
whole
Yep.
group
And
of
Daniel
people?
and Talita.
Okay.
Yep.
Awesome.
Absolutely. Yep.
That's some aces we have there setting up this. I know they're beasts at inviting.
All right.
Yeah.
And then we've got Super Saturday in San Diego. And this is
Okay.
Kelly Haupu and Cesar Munoz.
Okay.
Blue. Yep. And Presidential Diamond Cesar Munoz. And so he's going to be there. Yep.
Amazing. I had the chance to talk to him a little bit at the pool party, and we talked a little bit about his past and how he got started with iBoom. It was a big inspiration for me. So everybody, able to be there and bring guests, do that. Absolutely. It's a great setup with Kelly and Cesar Munoz.
Okay. All right. And Trade Buddy, the week
Yay.
of 7-1 through 7-5, gold, 8 trades, 7 wins, 1 loss, max pips, 830. Win rate, 88%. GJ, 3 trades, 2 wins, 1 loss, max pips, 208, win rate, 67%. UCAD, 5 trades, 5 wins, 0 losses, 201 pips. Win rate is 100%, 16 trades, 14 wins, a win rate of 88%, and max pips 1,239.
That's
incredible.
amazing.
Yep.
That's
Yeah.
incredible. I want to see in the chat who's right now on subscription for Trade Buddy, because what more do you need in order to get convinced that this is something that will help you? It's one of the good shortcuts. I know Mr. Bucks talked about, we should not do the shortcuts to success, but in this way, I would say that it's a great and approved shortcut. Kevin Clayton and Vida. Kelly, what is that? It's fast here. Helle. All right. Because let's, be honest, if you don't have Trade Buddy yourself, how will you expand your business with Trade Buddy? How will you be able to share the message and, your experience with Trade Buddy? And the numbers, they do all the work for you. When we talked about exposure, you can expose this graphic right here to your, prospects. That's a great fact that you can share. It's not really just your opinion. It's actually the facts of how it's going to work. 100% on the UCAT. That's pretty good.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we're doing well.
All right. Here we go. Leadership Mastery, how to recreate yourself as a leader and build a unique brand. Take it away, Mary Ann.
Yeah, I will, absolutely. I was going through my notes and, listening to the recordings, and there was so much to share. So we decided just for this, I would not say it's a minor topic, but it was just one part of everything that Mr. and Mrs. Bucks shared. So if you were not there, this is not, everything, not even close to. And I'm not trying to become, Mr. Bucks, but I wanted to share just some of my own reflections and some of the keynotes that I took that really made an impact. So before we get into really the house, I want everybody to read these 3 quotes, because for me, they made really a huge impact when it comes to you being a leader in your own business or in your life in general. He said that somebody not busy leading will always occupy their time being led by somebody else. I really want you to read that statement for yourself. So it means that if you are not right now busy leading somebody else, you are being led by somebody. So if you have an idea that you want to become a leader and this is, your reality right now, you need to change something. But that's why we have this flight school today, because we want to teach you how you can actually do that. But the first step is to realize, where are you right now? And there's nothing wrong with being led. Everybody, all big leaders are also followers. So it's just that you need to know where you're at right now. Then he said something I would say pretty controversial. I have never heard him say such things. He said that people are often too lazy to do their work themselves. And that's why they often, consult coaches and therapists to get the answer. And that really hit me, because I've been a coach for 6 years before I started with Ibüümerang. And it's very true, because, you know, it's not an easy job to discover yourself. It's not an easy job to get to know yourself. So maybe it's not because you find yourself lazy, but at least, you know, when you seek the answers from somebody educated, you come to the answers much faster. So he really wanted to encourage everybody, you know, becoming a leader is an ongoing self-discovery journey. So if you're not willing to be on a constant self-development journey, you cannot really become a great leader, because there's so much you need to discover about yourself. I don't know who hits, you know, this message, but for me, at least, I'm like, yep, I can totally relate to that. So as well, he said something that I want to use as the last quote to get into the training, is that leader of one, leader of many. If you can't lead one, you can't lead any. And that one you should be leading is, of course, yourself. So if you know that right now you're actually not able to lead yourself, don't really have too big ambitions on leading other people, because you need to, you know, lead yourself in order to lead other people. And it goes as well with the gym. And I know you're very big on the gym, Mark. And, you know,
Yes,
every day,
absolutely.
maybe in the beginning, you know, you force yourself to do it. But in the end, your goal is pulling you towards the gym. And I was there yesterday after 24 hours of flight, and my body was so heavy in
Yes.
it. I didn't really want to do it, but at the same time, I wanted to do it, because if I cannot follow my own, you know, instructions, how would somebody else follow me? So that's really a statement that everybody needs to pay attention to, that if you know that right now you cannot lead yourself, you need to work on that first before you start leading other people, because they need to see it in you. So you are trustworthy, and, you know what you're talking about. You're not just about the talking, but you can actually prove yourself by the doing that you are right now. So yes, that was just the initial thoughts that, you know, I have so many notes, but then I want to get more into the details about how you can actually do it. Because Mr. Box really made us think. That's one of his biggest qualities, I would say. He is very provocative. He's on point. He's no nonsense. You get, you know, everything that you need, not everything,
Yes.
you know, what you want, right? So he
He,
told us some
he,
things, and he asked us to do an assignment. Maybe you can pull that up.
what's
Uh,
that?
the assignment
He,
that he gave us. Yeah, I
yeah.
think I put that on the next slide. Yeah,
Yep. He
because
hurt. He was truth. He
yeah,
told the truth,
yep,
and he called people out.
yeah, he really did. I mean, everybody in that room, they got so much, you know, value from these 2 days, and it takes, you know, days afterwards to even absorb it, and, you know, how to be able to apply it. So that's why we're doing this flight school today, to just get a little bit. Yes, we got that conscious interruption. That's what we all needed. So what he
Yeah.
wanted everybody to really think about is that we often talk about that we are the business, and everybody can agree to that. But if we are the business, then we need to know, who are we then? Because the person that we are is the leader that we are. So you need to know about your unique self-identity. And for me, at least, you know, I have worked in marketing many years before I started Ibüümerang. We talked a lot about unique selling, you know, proposition, and so for products and services. But this goes for you as well. What is your unique self-identity? You need to really discover that. You need to take the time to work that out. And if you don't do that, you know, everything else that you do will be kind of blinded. Because if you don't know who you are, you know, you can be maybe confused about the business that you have. You cannot understand your results. So it starts with you, and you have to really identify, who are you as a person? And as well, you know, what are you known for to yourself? I mean, we all tell ourselves lies every single day. You talked a lot about that, how we
Truth.
really cover up the truth, right? That it's, we like to just, what did you say, wrap it up in candy or something. But we need to be honest with ourselves, because, you know, in the end of the day, we are somebody to our household, we are somebody to society, we are somebody to our business. And, you know, we can do some type of self-discovery, and maybe we can ask other people as well what they really, you know, what their perception is about us. But I can say personally, I was really writing down, because I want to be as coachable as possible. So on the spot, I was writing down about myself, and I have done that hundreds of times before. But it really hit me like, yes, one of my qualities as a person is that I'm very serving, I'm very caring, I'm very loving and giving. And there's nothing wrong with that, you know, being a person. But maybe in a business context, there are levels to it. So when I design, the me that is in my business, I may have to, turn up and down for some of my qualities, if you understand what I mean. So I think everybody really needs to do this assignment. It seems not very, big, but when you dive into it, trust me, it is. And I like what he said. I put that as a quote, like, you bring yourself everywhere. You cannot go anywhere without yourself. So you're always in the picture. So if you don't know who you are, you never really, have the opportunity to develop yourself as a leader. So first of all, really dive into this, take some time, reflect on it, and maybe, during a couple of days, put some notes and question yourself, is this really me, or is this, how my parents want me to be, or, am I really being me? That's a big question. It really is. So don't be, in a hurry with this. Don't be in a hurry. Just really take the time. And maybe you have a masterminding with somebody else on the same level who can guide you a little bit, or somebody with a bigger awareness who can question maybe your own thinking, because that's, again, what we need. It's easy to paint a nice picture of yourself, right? But your business will reveal it. Your family situation and so on will give you a mirror to look in as well. So I don't know if somebody did this assignment while they were in Mexico or afterwards they came back, but it's absolutely something that I recommend. You cannot recreate yourself if you don't know who you are right now. That's the, main activity. Where are you right now? Maybe you know where you want to go. You want to reach certain goals, but if you don't know who you are at this very moment, how will you design the journey towards that goal? I
So,
need it.
who did you discover that you were? I'm asking the chat.
Yeah. Okay, great. Let me hear from everybody who did the assignment. What really amazed you about your own results, or what can I say? Your own answers. The I am, yes, exactly. You need to write down. And even sometimes, what's holds us back the most is who we think we are not. So sometimes it's easier for people to write down who they think they're not instead of writing out who are they actually.
Yes.
Rocky sees God's highest form of creation. I love that. That gives room for development. But anybody did the assignment, give some answers in the chat, because this will inspire other people to do this. When you just see it on this slide, it seems like, not a lot of work, but it's actually very, very profound work that you need to do in order to develop yourself. And I have some plans to go into my, team with this and discuss this with a couple of individuals that I know will really benefit from this. I mean, everybody will, but you also need to be open to receive some feedback, because the truth is always the hardest to swallow, but it's what we need.
So, Diana, you did this exercise in Mexico. What came out of it?
Let's get some answers. Maybe I should look at
Oh,
Facebook.
I have done it from the perspective of who I am in terms of the person I am creating, much like Mr. Bug's definiteness of purpose. That's Michael Hill. Stein. So I'm a fighter, a specialist, good at helping others, caring, thoughtful, inspiration for others, and always prepared. Diana Hardy. I'm a speaker and a coach. FX Rich, stable provider. Vita Wooten. I did the assignment. The team said I am a leader that needs more compassion.
Boom.
That's
But that's what I said.
Yvonne
You need to be open to receive the feedback. If your team already
yes,
knows that you will
absolutely.
not,
He was stepping
handle
on
it.
toes. He was
Yeah.
stepping on your toes. Yep. There was a lot that I needed to do to find out who I am. Those of us there know what was said about the twins. I have lots to work on. I have lots of work to figure out who I am.
Yeah. Because you can really take it a step back. I can see that, somebody put, I'm a provider. Yeah, that's true. But before you're a provider, you're also a person. A provider is a role that you have. You are a person before you are a provider. You are also a person before you are a business owner, before you are a mom or dad or spouse. And that's the biggest assignment, to, get rid of all these roles and responsibilities and just dive into who are you as a person. So it's not about, what you do, what you provide. It's about who are you, your being. And that's something I think most of us have not been taught, because it's all about what are you doing? What is the job that you have? But it's actually your being that we want to dive into.
I found out that I am known for self-discipline, strong leadership by my friends and family, but it was not perceived as sympathetic to weaker personalities.
Mm.
Okay. I'm a
So
leader in
who do you listen to?
Yeah. I'm a leader in development who needs to work on her emotional detachment. And I am creating the best version of me each and every single day.
Absolutely.
Who you are in your household was a big thing that he said. Yep, that was it.
Yeah, it's different for every person, depending on their family situation, depending on for how long they have been in the business. So just really find the place that, gives you the most awareness and room for development. I'm a walking, talking asset, says Leo. That's for sure. I like
Yes.
that. Yeah. So it's all about the I am, everything that you tell yourself. Mr. Box really talks a lot about that. Everything you speak into existence every single day, how you talk about yourself, how you talk about your business, everything's coming to fruition, so you better really be aware of what you speak. So if you are, I saw somebody was writing that I'm discovering myself as the future version of myself or something like that. And that's really great as well, because you will develop into that person by speaking it every day. But not only by speaking, of course, we need to do the action, but the more you hear yourself speak it. That's how actually I got started with the gym. I was writing it out a long time ago. I'm healthy, I'm blah, blah, blah. And then every day I'm like, yeah, I'm healthy too, with the food, but I need to get into the gym, because I got sick and tired of reading this affirmation out every day and not doing it. So eventually it will start pulling you towards doing the things that will lead you to achieve it. So, but it takes persistence. It really does.
Perez. I am love. I am impact of becoming emotionally intelligent. I'm a servant leader. I'm a woman who nurtures my husband and children. I am an impact probability, an impact of probability. I am love. I am light. I'm a model to duplicate greatness. I am an impact of giving and receiving.
That's a great statement. What it really is, you need to see how you can put that into action every single day.
Yep.
It needs to be converted into an activity. So yeah, I love everybody really participating in this. And if you're watching this on a replay, still do the work, take the time out to do this. And if you have a team, make it a team activity and make everybody do this.
Yep.
It serves really everybody. Yeah.
So I'm a mother role model that helps others become better versions of themselves. And that's Cynthia Oxidine. And I repeat my I am statement every morning.
That's great. That's great. Mr. Box even talked about recording yourself, and listening to your own voice, because listening to your own voice, that's, what you're most receptive to, because you hear yourself every single day. So it helps you to connect into it. Yeah.
So Doris couldn't be there because she has some immigration issues, but I have homework this weekend.
Yeah, that's the spirit.
Yeah.
Development work. It sounds more interesting. Growth work, wealth work, whatever it comes together. Yeah, so this is really a key. And I would say that you can ask yourself these questions maybe every 3 months, every 6 months, depending on how much you're growing and, the goals that you have for yourself, because they should not be the same answer in 6 months from now. You should be the person that you're now speaking into existence. That should be your foundation for the next 6 months. So it's a continuous assignment that you can pull out and see how you're doing.
Okay.
Yes. All right. Let's
Next
continue.
slide.
Yeah. So what I love about Mr. Box, he takes no nothing, no BS from anybody. He is just really, you have the power to recreate yourself. don't complain about what you're lacking, or don't compare yourself with somebody else. You're not your name. And when he said that, I've heard Mr. Bob Proctor say that so many times. You're not your name. It was given to you, and you're not your belief system, because that was given to you as well from parents and society. They had the best intentions, but we are brought up to just be, like even Mr. Box, he showed it very, specific on stage. We are brought up to becoming cows and just following the masses. So we are, growing up with a belief system that we are not enough and we cannot do certain things. We limit ourselves, we doubt ourselves. But we are not our belief system. It can be updated, it can be changed like any other software, right? So don't really think that, because right now, I know everybody know they're not their name, but I can give an example from my own life. It's more than maybe 10 years ago or 15 years when I really started with personal development. But I really had this idea that this is me. This is, how I was created on a more like a physical level from my parents. And I didn't really know so much about the mind. I didn't know so much about limiting beliefs. And I was just like, well, this is me, and I just have to get the best out of it. Like, for real, that's how I was thinking. I had certain qualities. I was happy about that. And there was something that I was not so happy about. But I was like, well, this is just what I got from my parents, and I have to work with that. So it took me some time to figure out that I'm not my name. I'm not my parents' limiting beliefs. I'm not, what I'm thinking right now. I can recreate myself as many times as I want. So this really is what goes with you're not your name. You're not your limiting beliefs. You can question anything. I know people even change their name. I'm not so much up for that, but I'll leave that, for whoever wants to do that. But what you really are is that you're the creator. You can create yourself, anything in the world. You have the power to speak everything into existence. And even Mr. Box went a little deep into that. And it was such a great, teaching that you can create anything. So don't limit yourself that because this and that and your parents, and no, it's about you and yourself. You have the power to recreate yourself. So if your self-discovery, led you to a picture that you're not happy about, who are you right now? Who are you in your household? Whatever, it doesn't matter. It's yesterday. Today, you can recreate yourself to becoming this person that you would love to be. You can create yourself, write out really like a description, the I am affirmation, in a way that helps you to overcome things that right now you're limiting yourself because you're telling yourself, I'm this kind of person who cannot do this, or I'm not like this and that. No, it's not like that. It's just you're not that person yet because you didn't allow yourself to become that yet. So I can only give my own example. Like I had to allow myself to become somebody that I was not, but I had to allow myself. I didn't have to ask anybody for permission because I'm the creator. So I know everybody can do this. And you need to be very specific because the universe really has your back, but you cannot just ask for general, skills or general ways of living. It needs to be very specific. And I know for myself that, I was brought up to not talk about things that you have not yet accomplished. That's a big no-go. And it goes directly against this, right? So if you are brought up to, the understanding that you should never talk about things before you have accomplished them, you really make yourself a big disfavor. Because one of the main forces how you can achieve something is by talking about it, by sharing it. But you need to share it with the right people, though. You cannot share it with small-minded people with no vision. You need to share it with people on your own level or higher. And then you speak it out every single day. Like some of you put in the chat, you speak it out, you write it out, you record yourself, you listen to it over and over and over. And yes, in the beginning, it sounds ridiculous and you have no clue how you're going to achieve it. But you know that inside that this is something that you want. And I'm really a big believer that why would, whatever God or the universe put some idea or purpose in you that you are not capable of achieving? It makes no sense in a world where everything is possible. So yes, Rubina, you are limitless, but what will you, use that to accomplish? It needs to be specific. We need to write down, what are the qualities that you want? What are the results that you want? What is the network that you want? Who are you? And then every day you need to take action as this new person. And that's where, you know, the tough work needs to be done. Because every day your mind will tell you, I'm not that person yet. I'm not sure I can do that. I'm not ready for that yet. I'm too tired today. I'm too this today. I'll wait a little bit for that. Your old you will tell you not to do it, but you need to tell your old you to zip it, right? We cannot curse here today. I'm not Tigre.
You can say shit.
But yeah, okay, you said it. So you have to really decide, do you want to recreate, you know, the same that you already have, or do you want to recreate something new? Because it's either or, right? So either you listen to your old you and you continue get the same results, or you decide that you are going to win this battle. You are going to win because you can create everything that you want, but you need to do the work. And that's why I see a lot of people fall off. It's so easy to write it out. It's maybe not so easy to speak it, but you know, you can still do that because it's free to do it. Maybe some people will find that you're crazy. So what? But when you start doing, you know, the work, that's when people will start reacting on you and give you different feedback, and it will stress you, and it will, you know, maybe even annoy you. Maybe you question yourself, but you still have to do it because you know what you know that you know. Okay, so keep doing this. And I love what Mr. Box said about you have been influenced to abandon who we really are. That hit me so hard. Really think about this, everybody on the line right now. How have you been influenced to abandon who you know that you really are? By your parents, by your siblings, by school, by, you know, somebody gave you that idea that you are not who you know that you are. And maybe it takes a little time to discover who you are, because we are not used to that. We are used to just everybody equal, you know, the cows walking around in circles. Like even Mr. Box did that. I just really, that picture's just in, you know, printed in my mind. So we all were born for greatness. We have just, you know, been influenced to abandon who we really are. So I want everybody to do this assignment, write out who are you right now, but then after that, immediately decide who you want to become and write it out really in details and practice every day, becoming that person. Even Mr. Box, you know, he showed his own affirmation and I was blown away. I had to really ask him.
He wrote it in the beginning of the
yeah, the Master to Keys to Riches.
Yes.
Yes.
He wrote it. And
he was only like 18, 19 years old, which I still don't understand.
and it came true. In
Yeah.
5 years, he said he was going to be there.
Yeah.
And it came true.
He mentioned really certain habits, which I was most impressed about, you know, how he was able as 18, 19-year-old to really have such an awareness about what it really took for him to change his life.
Yep.
And I asked him actually that question. I said, but how, you know, I know even my son, he's 20. I'm like, he could never write out something, you know, so profound as that. But he said, what he did was he was reading this book over and over and over, especially one of the chapters about his purpose. And then he just decided, I'll follow these principles to the very detail. I'll do exactly what this book teaches me, because what is my alternative? And I think that's really, really powerful, just to decide that, yes, you know, these principles have helped so many people. It will help me as well. So it's not about you believing, you know, it's about the scientifics of these principles. They work, you know. So he was really like, I took a picture of that slide. I read his fine handwriting. Yeah. So what that really, you know, helped me to see that this is exactly what it's, you know, how it's done. You don't know how it's going to happen, but if you don't know what you want, I mean, nothing will happen. So step number one is to write out what is it that you really want. And the I am, you know, way of writing it in present tense. I don't know if everybody is aware of that, but you don't really write that I would love to be. It's like I am, and then you put in everything that you want to be, but it needs to be in a present tense. So it seems like you're already that person.
Yep.
So yeah.
Alex,
yeah.
Love everything you're saying, Marianne. This is so important. When I figured this out 4 years ago, my life changed more than it did the previous 20 years.
Wow.
Yep.
It is powerful stuff.
Yep.
It really is. Yeah.
And Alex, again, it's not who we are that holds us back. It's who we think we are not.
For sure. Yeah.
Yep.
That is for sure.
But,
And that's where the scary part is, because since we know we are not that person yet, we need to just believe that we can become it. But we need to take the action in alignment before we become it. It's how we become it. It's by doing it before we are ready. And that's something, that scares most people. All right. Who else has something? Yes. Diana Hardy. Yes, it was pretty amazing. It was like magic in front of your eyes, just ticking all the stuff that he wrote. It's just, yeah. Okay, the next thing was as well something Mr. Buck said, you can grow at the finish line. You can grow at the finish line. It's not something that I thought about, but it makes sense when you say it, right? So what he was encouraging everybody to do in order to recreate yourself as a leader is you need to be willing to put yourself back at the starting line. And what that is, it's individual for everybody. Where's your starting line? But it's something that we need to be willing to do, because we are able to do it. It's just, are we willing to do it? Become open to learn and develop ourselves, become open. Even Mrs. Bucks was saying that, don't be offended by what we are talking, because we are here to share something with you that really has the potential to change your life. But if you just reject it, if you're not even open to listen, if you think that you know it all, you don't know it all, right? So if you are standing at the finish line and you see yourself like, I've done everything, I cannot do anymore. Well, you need to go back to the start line, the beginning line,
Mm-hmm.
That's always a new, the finish line is a new starting line for something else. I know nothing. I know, Leo, we had a conversation about that. Every time we, increase our awareness, we realize how much we don't know, that we don't know. So if you find the right people and really do what they suggest you to do, you will see it, by time. Even yesterday, I received 2 of the books that Mr. Bucks, recommended. I immediately ordered them while I was in Mexico. So I knew that as soon as I come back, they're already in my doorstep. I don't question, I really do this? Or maybe I should do my own research. No. If he tells me, read this book, I'm reading these books. I'm open to receive. I know there's so much that I don't know, but I didn't, used to be like this. I was one of the, I kind of know it all persons, because that was how I was raised. Only weak people, ask questions. Only weak people, cannot do everything by themselves, which led me to an idea that I should not ask questions. But now I realize that was a losing strategy. You need to be willing and open to ask questions and listen to the answer and apply it. Don't question it. Don't defend yourself. Just swallow the bullet, like Tigre used to say. When asking for something, I have to be willing to do what he tells me. If not, it makes no sense that I'm asking him something. So he said, cultivate a curious mind. So I also bought that book, because I was curious to know about this book about, curious mind. And I know as well something that is easy to fall into the trap, that you compare your own beginning with somebody else's finish line. That is, something that is very easy when you are in this business or, in anything else. Like, I can compare my fitness journey to somebody who's been into fitness 20 years. But by doing that, I know already the results that I get, not happy about my own results, but even I'm already ahead of somebody else who didn't even begin the journey. So it's really a bad habit to compare yourself with other people's finish line, because it's their finish line. Maybe yours will be even ahead of that years from now. So just stay in your own line and, create yourself multiple starting lines all the time. And what we mean by that is, everything that let's say I ask you for an advice and you tell me something, and I know I have not done that before. That's a new starting line. I have to put myself into that uncomfortable situation of doing something that I know I haven't done before, but you're telling me this is what I need. It's not that I'm thinking about it, or let me ask somebody else about it. No, if I ask your advice, I need to be willing to do it. And it's, uncomfortable in many ways, because it's new, it's growth, and there's no comfortability in the growth zone. So that's what we just need to know, that if everything is comfortable, if what you're doing right now as a leader is everything is comfortable, you have no issues with anybody, everything is just smooth, you're not growing. There will be something going on with, your team or yourself, or there should be some, I don't know if friction is the right word, but there should be something, not comfortable, right? I don't know if you have anything to add to that when it comes to leadership. I know you have had also a big business.
So Mr. Bugs got us all out of our comfort zones this weekend.
Yeah. He's very good at that.
Last weekend. Yeah.
It
was phenomenal. Yep. It
was. And I stated as well on this slide that, putting yourself back at the starting line, it takes courage. And I will say as well, it takes, some type of self-worth, that you have this idea that you're able to pull it off, or you're willing to run the risk. Because even, staying the same is more risky than trying something new. And this is what everybody needs to know, that, developing yourself as a leader, it requires a lot of uncomfortability, a lot of uncomfortable actions, a lot of times where you need to trust your own truth, that, why you got this idea that you want to do this, it's because you're supposed to do it. And yeah, you haven't done it before, but that's not a reason to not do it. There will be a first time for many things. Yes. Okay. Sharpening the iron, the iron. Thank you. Yeah. Okay. The last thing he talked about was how to build your unique brand. We talked a lot about that, and really the basic in what he taught was actually the last sentence that I put outside of the dotted ones, is don't try to brand words. That's something that really hit me. Don't try to brand words, but brand experiences. And in order for you to brand experiences, you need to have experiences, right? So this goes again back to, you need to do the work. You need to, take the steps of developing yourself, because if you're not on a development journey, if you're not leading yourself by example, you have nothing to show. You can just tell, and this is not what we do. We show it, and then we tell afterwards. We don't just talk. So again, if you have done these assignments, now you have an identity. And on top of that, you put something that you're very good at. You don't want to start with something that you're not good at and see if you can become good at that. You want to start with something that you're very good at and combine that with your identity, because that is your foundation of your unique brand. There's only one of you, and then you add something that you're good at, and that's your brand right there. And maybe for right now, what you're good at is not, what you want to do in the future. Who knows? But at least pick something that you're good at, that you can actually make a business, that is something that people will pay you to deliver to them. And as well, what he said, what's attractive about me? Why are people attracted to me? They may even tell you that. I often get the same type of feedback, that you always make me do things that I didn't think I was capable of. Even somebody tells me sometimes that you can tell me to my face things that I don't want to hear, and since you're still smiling, I'll listen to what you're saying. So I know I have some things that are unique to me, that it's who I am, and I bring that into my business. And you have the same quality that nobody can take away from you, because there's only one of you. And the more we just step into that uniqueness, the more you're creating your brand, and the more you're allowing yourself to take the action aligned with that. So when I get the feedback that people love to hear the truth, it makes me tell the truth even more. And again, because where I come from, I was not supposed to tell the truth so much. I was told to just, keep it low. But since now what I'm requested, from people who work with me, I need to do that even more. So when you do that even more, your uniqueness, you start standing out, because unique is equal to standing out. It's not average where you blend in. You want to just really hold on to that uniqueness that you have, and you all know what it is. Cancer power, that's for sure, right there. But don't try to cover it up. Don't be ashamed, of your qualities. Don't be ashamed of your uniqueness. That's your biggest, ace that you have. There's only one of you. And then again, let the actions be your ad. That's what he exactly said. I took that note from him. Let your actions be your ad. Don't try to advertise yourself in what you do. Just do it. Let the doing show what you are capable of. That's how I really also, love to do the work. I'm not talking so much about what I do. I just do it. And then everybody, can see what am I doing? And the same should be for everybody here. Do what you know you're capable of doing. And then later, you will have something to show. Don't talk too much about what you are about to do. It's not interesting. It needs to be, what you have done. And then he said as well, it's in alignment with this, you have to become an expert first. Then you can help people, because way too many people, they try to help other people without having results for themselves. So you're trying to teach something that you have not yet achieved, maybe from a book that you read, you're kind of specialist already, but you're not. You're just, delivering information. And that's, even I was a health coach once, and there was a lot of health coaches, but they were not healthy. And how can you trust somebody, who is in a bad shape to tell you how to work out? I mean, that's that's not good, right? So this goes as well for the business. Focus on you and how you build your business. So you have some results that will, advertise for you. You don't have to say it. And then he said as well, do one thing very good and get wealthy from that. And then you can start adding other things. Don't really try to be all over the place. Maybe you find yourself with a lot of unique qualities. Well, that's great. Pick one and then add what you're really good at, and then stick to that until you made, I don't know, the millions or whatever your goal is, and then learn to multiply it, invest it, maybe invest into other businesses, right? It's not about you being all over the place. That's not being unique.
So I like what he said on this last quote. Do one thing very good and get wealthy.
Mm-hmm.
He compared it to a boxer or an MMA fighter.
Yeah.
He said, you can do 20 moves or you can only have one move. And that one move, you don't want to mess around with that guy.
Exactly. The one who has done the same move, thousands of times.
Yes.
Instead of somebody else with thousands of moves they did one time each. Yeah, that's really powerful. Yeah, that really is. So you need to find out what is your one move that you can keep repeating, right?
Yep.
Okay, so I think we had just one last message from the leadership mastery. It's something that really hit me as well, because it's so, I always enjoy being on flight school myself. I get so much value from it and, get very excited and happy and, but what really hit me at the leadership mastery was that most of us, our memory of the past has much more gravity and magnetism than the energy of our goals and future. And that is only because most of us spend more time going back than thinking forward. And this is the same for this assignment. You should not dedicate, 90% of going back, diving into your childhood or, get stuck with that. And then you kind of just do 5 minutes of the future version of yourself. Do the assignment, make a fine line, and emphasize, everything that will have to do with your future. The recreation of yourself, the future version of yourself, the new results that you want to achieve, because this is how most of us are programmed. So we need to be aware of that, to not fall into that trap. So I want to encourage everybody to really take these notes and recreate yourself today, not tomorrow. Start doing something today that you didn't do yesterday, that you know you can do. You just haven't done it yet because you didn't think you were that person, but you're already that person. And then move forward from here. So that's my notes and nuggets from Mr. Box. I mean, we could do this for a whole weekend.
Yes, absolutely. And day 2, the relationships.
Yeah,
Was
mind-blowing.
Yeah, it was mind-blowing.
I'm unlearning a lot of stuff. Let's put it like that.
Yes, absolutely. All right. Any questions?
Let's see from the people in the chat. What is the list of the books? Is Danny asking.
Yes.
I can share that maybe in the chat afterwards. I have really, how I normally do it when I take my notes is I put a star every time he mentions a book, so I can easily go back in my notes to find.
Eddie Salcido, how were the tacos? Not good.
They were acceptable. Yeah. I will add the part about the books for sure. And yeah, you're right, book in the margin. Yeah, we need to find a way to organize the notes, because you know how fast he speaks. You need to be fast, and you need to record and pay attention and get all the details. So, I mean, it was 2 days fully packed from 8:30 to 6 every day. You know, Mr. and Mrs. Box, just really amazing information and experiences that they shared, and everybody was very, you know, happy and grateful for this time. Since they don't have to do this, we need to remember that as well. They spend a whole weekend and even more than that with us. And yeah, it's just amazing value.
Yep.
So I hope this helped everybody who was not there, and as well to know that you need to be in the room next time, okay?
Yes, absolutely. All right. Thank you so much, Marianne, for being on with me. Yes,
such a great honor.
Absolutely. So, are you ready?
Oh yeah, we need to do a picture.
Yes, absolutely.
Let's do it. There's no sun out, so there's no guns out today for me.
Okay. All right.
Thank you
Love
so much for having me.
ambassadors.
Bye, everybody.